Hello there, this is Father Ken Lau, and I would like to welcome you in this special episode of Nuggets for the Soul. And I'm here interviewing my sister Karen King Tan. She's my younger sister, and so we grew up in the Philippines there. And I would tell people that Karen is the most intelligent of all the siblings, and I'm the most mischievous. And I think she got 80% of the intelligence of my mom, and the remaining 20% we divided among our other siblings. So, Karen, could you please introduce yourselves?
You're flattering me too much, Father Ken. Thank you for the introduction. We grew up in the Philippines. We're blessed to have gone to Catholic schools since we were kindergarten, but it was not until you invited me to Servants of the Lord's Vineyard community in LaSalle that I got to know God in a personal way. Terrence, my husband, and I came to Canada in 2001, and this is where the three kids, Catherine, Tiffany, and Nathan, were born. I'm a finance professional outside of family, and I also serve in ministry. That's all.
So, Karen lives in Mississauga, which is near Toronto, and she's the reason why I am here in Canada. Because at that time when I was like discerning where to migrate, one of my options was Australia. But since Karen is already here in Canada, I said might as well migrate also to Canada. So I thank God for Karen. If not for her, I would not be here in Canada. We'll talk about your conversion. Could you tell more about that?
Yeah, I would say it's not like a flashy conversion, but rather it's more of like an ongoing conversion. As and I share this in my book, that when we were children, there were six of us. Life was challenging with business and all, and our parents, they did their best, but more of their cultural background and time in their generation, they don't really express their love to their children the way we do, right? And so I turned to studying hard to get high grades in order to earn their love. I thought that I needed to do something, work hard at earning their love. And it became like that even with work. I turned to my achievements in order to fill the void in my heart. So, it's more of like self-reliance, need for perfection. Until one day, I felt like even my best was not good enough, and so I fell into clinical depression. So it was hard. I mean, I was in a dark place. I couldn't even function normally until I started taking medications. So I got better, but then I was just going by, not really living my life to the fullest. Until, during the pandemic, when things slowed down and I started hearing God more and experiencing His love and mercy, that's when I started having a conversion and getting to know Him better and trying to serve Him more.
And out of that period of conversion during the time of pandemic, that's where God inspired you to write a book. By the way, Karen is a very gifted writer, and that's her gift. So I'm very happy that God inspired her to write this book. So can you tell me what is the heart of this book?
So it's my conversion story, basically, right? It's supposed to be about the sudden passing of our parents. Remember, in 2021, they passed away after 2 weeks of getting sick with COVID. And then I was invited by our sister Mayette to be part of the launch team of her book. So, I was already at the time, thinking that maybe the events of our parents passing and the kindness of the people around us has to be written in a book. But I was inspired to write more about my conversion story, and that became a healing journey for me as well. So, and also to give hope basically to people who will look normal from the outside like me, but actually is suffering quietly, right? So, I just felt inspired to share my story, to give hope to people, and hopefully that will help them to also experience life more to the fullest.
Yeah, well, to the viewers, I could really attest that I saw this difficult stage in our family that we went through with the passing away of our parents, and yet we also saw the mercy of God. So I'm really glad that Karen was able to share that in her book. And also during the time of the pandemic, I really saw Karen bloom, and she was like really on fire to really share the good news to people. And this is the reason why God inspired her to write this book. So what inspires you to write this book?
Remember what we got together as a family, right? So during the pandemic, like on Fridays, we would get together, right? And I remember very distinctly when we were watching the Divine Mercy series video series by Father Michael Gately. There was a writing there about, he told Saint Faustina in her diary, it says there, distrust on the part of souls is tearing my insides. Despite my inexhaustible love for them, they do not trust me. Even my death is not enough for them. So that's really spoke to me, and I felt really convicted. All my troubles in the past could be, boiled down to my lack of trust in God, right? And as I journeyed with people during the pandemic, I discovered the same thing about many, many people. And also, like a lot of Catholics like me, do not and really appreciate the beauty of our faith. And because I've encountered that and experienced that in a deeper way during the pandemic, I was inspired to really share about this, hoping that more and more Catholics will appreciate and also be healed, right, as they go through the sacraments, as they encounter Jesus in a personal way. So yeah, it's basically to bring hope to souls.
Well, thank you so much, because I've been one of the people who have been inspired by reading your book, because of course, the same as you, I'm still learning really to trust in the Lord. As many viewers know, I also underwent clinical depression and severe anxiety, insomnia, and suicidal thoughts. And at the bottom of all of that is really a lack of trust in God. And when I started to experience the love of God in my life, I learned to trust Him, and slowly the depression and the anxiety, the insomnia and the suicidal thoughts just lifted up. So I'm really very happy that you experienced that healing, and also now you're giving hope to those who are struggling the same as you did in the past. So thank you so much for this part one of this interview with Karen Quintan, and so look forward to part two, wherein we will go in details of what the book is about and also the format of the book. So stay tuned to part two of this interview with God bless.